And all right, we're going. Hey guys, this is Edwin Moles, and this is going to be a cast of a game. Well, you don't need to look at me here. We'll go. Here we go. We're casting a game in the round 3 of the Ryze Up tournament between teams MELIE and Team Krnz sucks. Team Krnz sucks right now in blue under Tofu, and under Koboroko we have Team MELIE, something like that. And here we go. Draft mode, starting this thing off. I'm very excited for this game. It's going to be super awesome. These teams have cleared 2 rounds. They've been doing really well in a single elimination tournament as well, which is, always very respectable. They haven't lost a single game, of course, because you can't. If you do, you're out of the tournament. Tofu did contact me saying he likes his team comp. They do some kind of interesting off-the-wall things, and so I'm very excited to see what they pull out. Sorry about that rush intro again. My name is Edwin Moles. I'm casting from PSP Esports, the Penn State University Park Esports Club, and this is for LawReport.com. They are hosting the Ryze Up 2012 tournament, which has been so much fun. If you don't know anything about this tournament, please go to LOLReport.com, check them out, check what's going on with that. This is a tournament specifically for players under a certain ELO threshold, so it's kind of just getting down into these players that don't often compete and letting them have this awesome tournament. These players are in the new bracket. They've separated their brackets into champions, and yeah, man, after this one, they're going to be in the finals for their bracket, and then they're going to have a big bracket for all the brackets coming together. It's kind of bracketception here, But I do apologize. I have a little bit of a cold, and just a little bit of a sinus thing going on. But why don't we talk about the actual game here? I'll stop yapping, and we'll see now. All the bands have come out. Kennen, Ziggs, Vladimir, Kassadin, Rammus, and Wukong. So look at that. 4 very strong AP champions. 1 jungler, very strong ganking jungler, and an interesting Wukong ban, a harassment type top lane. Occasionally jungler as well. Wukong can kind of jungle. Now we're on Tofu's pick for blue. This is for Team Krnz sucks. He's running that timer out. Not really sure what to go for exactly. Vladimir and Kennen, Ziggs, Kassadin, all really strong casters. The bans are pretty straightforward. And a first pick Gangplank comes out for Tofu. We'll see if he sticks with that Flash Ignite. We have Graves picked up immediately by, I'm going to get these names right now, Veniminon, nice, and Koboroko picking up a Mumu with that jungle Mumu grabbing that smite right off the bat. We have Rekvi, these names, and Luminios, alright, Luminios, Veniminon, making me work here, alright. So immediately the strong AoE from Graves and Mumu picked out for purple team, for Team MELIE, it's M-E-L-I-E, MELIE, I like MELIE, I don't know, it's really nice to me. Alright, Rekvi picking up Sona, Luminios picking up Jungle Udyr. I gotta tell you, I'm so much of a personal fan of Jungle Udyr. He is an awesome champ, really fun to play, very powerful. But immediately, the almost instant lock-in of Alistar for Paninkano, and followed up by Mudkips for President, grabbing Morgana, and look at that AoE comp. Oh wow, already coming out with strong picks for Team MELIE. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia and Sivir picked out for Team Krnz sucks. I mean, let's look at this. Alright, let's look at these team comps. Obviously, I would like to point out that these champions have been picked relatively quickly, so these guys know what they want to play. They already have an idea in mind. I mean, I think that's a great way to go into the game. They banned knowing what champions they wanted, and as soon as they saw that those champions were open, they're like, boom, picking it up. They got Sivir, Cassiopeia. They have a great damage on Team Krnz sucks. On Team, I would like to compare these teams. Team MELIE has a Mumu and Alistar, which are kind of support AoE stun CC champions that don't by themselves, by their own right, do a whole lot of damage. On the other hand, Team Krnz sucks. Every single champion does damage. Sona, especially in the early parts of the game, can do damage. Udyr, Cassiopeia, Sivir, and Gangplank all can absolutely lay on the damage. Interesting that we have Nyaka picking up Garen for Team MELIE, and he's got heal. I wonder if he choose to keep that. It has been really common lately to see AD carries bring a flash heal, putting the heal on the AD carry, of course, because that way you will get the full heal rather than it being split. But we see Paninko on Alistar has picked up heal rather than on the carry. Actually, the same for DN, who has been traded Sona. Tofu ends up with Cassiopeia. Balls Tou. Yeah, Balls Tou. That's it. Gets Sivir. Looks like we are sharing exact same summoner spells for bot lane. This Sivir Sona versus Graves Alistar going to be in bot lane. We have Cassiopeia Tofu against Morgana Mudkips for President mid. And probably going to be my most interesting lanes. Gangplank, Rek Vive, and Nyaka on Garen versus on top. And Nyaka does go ahead and keep that flash heal. Very interesting. Now we're going to be going into the delay now. So we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds for me to just blab about these picks before we go into the game. However, I think I have quite a lot to say. I don't know these players, so I don't know their personal preferences or what they happen to be good with, what they enjoy playing. But, I mean, it's a strong AoE comp, basically, from Team MELIE. A Graves QR burst on top of a Mumu and Morgana with a great Q from Alistar could be absolutely game-changing. Of course, Garen, we know he loves to spin, get that AoE damage, and with a great finishing blow. Frankly, I really like Team MELIE's team. I think Garen is a kind of a straightforward champ. I don't think he's going to do particularly well against Gangplank and lane. I think if they shut down Nyaka, they could really hurt Purple Team's overall game plan. Because besides Alistar and Morgana, who are kind of like short-term frontline players, they need somebody to really stay out there and be in front for a long time. Now, Mumu is there. It remains to be seen if Garen will be able to do the damage necessary. Meanwhile, on Team... Sorry, my nose. Team Krnz sucks. I have to find out who Krnz... Maybe that's a reference I'm missing? It's actually Team Krnz suck. It's not actually sucks. Apparently, Team Krnz suck. Okay, anyway, we have Sivir, Udyr, Gangplank, and Cassiopeia. Now, what I love about the Sivir pick here is that Udyr and Gangplank benefit greatly from Sivir's ult. So, I mean, you have these three melee... They already have a high base movement speed and a high attack speed, plus Gangplank's E will improve all of their attack damage, so Sivir, Gangplank, and Udyr by themselves, kind of a three-man, can do a lot of damage with a lot of mobility, and I really like that. Sona ult's obviously very powerful, plus Cassiopeia ult. Man, if Cass lays it down first for a nice counter-engage when Amumu goes ahead and bandage tosses in, if she can counter-engage before Amumu ults with her ult, and then Sona lays it down right on top of them, chain CC for that AoE chain CC, plus the damage I was just talking about with Udyr, Gangplank, and Sivir, could rip apart Team MELIE if they get the right kind of engage. It's really going to depend on when each team's CC is laid down and in reaction to whom. As has been said recently in high-level tournaments, Cassiopeia is a great counter-initiator, so is Sona, whereas a Mumu, I feel like, and Alistar are great at both counter-initiating or straight-up initiating. So I think the ball is kind of in Team MELIE's park, and we're going to see how they choose to use that. And looks like we're going to be going to the game in about 10 seconds here. Oh, man. I'm drinking me some water. I have been digging this tournament. Cast a couple of games with We Just Met Each Other, and got in touch with Insomnium, a really cool guy who's running the Ryze Up 2012 tournament. Or at least I believe he is. I won't say that straight up just in case I'm wrong. And here we pop into game. Now, a little disclaimer, I have been having a little bit of trouble with XSplit lately. It has decided to crash my computer once or twice. Now, hold my breath, fingers crossed, that won't happen this game. We should be totally fine. And I really hope it doesn't, because I'm liking this. Look at the skins, man. 100% skins from Team Krnz Sucks, Tofu, on the Cassiopeia, Gangplank, Udyr, Sivir, and Sona coming up with great skins, and oh, very close from Team MELIE, but Garen and Morgana decided to lag behind. Of course, Paninko is like, I got the Alistar skin. Sure, everyone has it, but Unchained Alistar, pulling that out. That's okay, because Kobaroko and Phenomenon. I might want to call him Venom. I might just call him Venom. I hope you don't mind Venom. On Graves, pulling up the skin, pulling up the skin train. That wasn't a real sentence. It's not important. Look, we're about to pop into the game. Mudkips for president, and Kobaroko slowing down a little bit. Tofu there as well. And I'm usually used to casting collegiate games because I do play with Ivy League of Legends, and I have cast an Ivy League of Legends game or two. And I'm used to these guys all playing from the same location, so I'm used to the computers and ping being relatively the same. But these guys, they can be friends. They can be all over. Just as long as they're in North America, because we are of course playing on the NE servers. Everyone's ping looking really good. Man, I am jealous. I gotta say, I'm jealous of Mudkip for President's ping. I mean, coming in at a startling 17, that has got to be amazing to play like that. Personally, my bandwidth at my house, I would be streaming if it wasn't restrictive. It's like at like 110, I get 110 or 120 ping, and I've gotten very used to that. I can play with that, but having 17 ping has got to be like amazing. It has to feel so responsive. Yeah, I would love to be streaming, but I'm just using XSplit for a local recording to make sure, because I've tried streaming from my house, and I can get it to be relatively not choppy, but the overall quality, both visually and audially, of that stream is just not where I'd like it to be, and I don't want to deliver anything but the very best in quality. So now we're in the game, and we do see both teams kind of lackadaisically making their way out of spawn. We do have some pings going off of GLHF, Good Manner coming out of Tofu, Cassiopeia, Venom Graves responding U2, period. And I should probably move that chat, but I don't think these guys are going to be doing much talking, and it's always fun to see what they say. I actually consider that kind of a fun aspect of the game. Let's take a look at items real quick. We on Team Krnz sucks. We have Cassiopeia picking up Boots 3, pretty common start. Gangplank, wow, look at the pings from Blue. They want to cover, they're actually planning on splitting up and covering all entrances to their base, which actually might turn out to be pretty good, because right now Team MELIE is looking to invade Amumu. Not the best level 1 jungler, actually hanging by his Blue. Looks like Team MELIE taking an aggressive stance, but rather just to cover Blue. And Amumu going to cover that other entrance, actually just going to come around Koboroko, taking that island brush. And we, back to the items, we have Cloth 5 on Gangplank as a jungler build. We do have a regen pendant health potion on Amumu, something I've been seeing a lot lately. He does have runes and masteries for HP, because he is coming out there with 691 health, and he can actually get away very easily with that health regen, with that regrowth pendant, which will come in for a nice early regrowth pendant, or words for it, for a nice early what is that? Philosopher's Stone. Oops. Lol, and we see right now Udyr going to go ahead and take those wolves. Amumu waiting and going to start at the blue. That's going to give Udyr a little bit of a lead. Of course, just having those wolves done earlier. I am lagging a bit now. Uh-oh. Well, it'll give me time to talk about things I wouldn't have otherwise had time to talk about. One of the most interesting buys right now, there we go, catching up right now, is that Garen has bought a Doran's shield, arguably the worst Doran's item actually in the game, next to Doran's ring and Doran's blade. Now we have Cass pulling blue, of course, so Luminos already halfway done with blue. Koboroko just finishing up blue, going to be a little bit behind Udyr. And we'll see if Udyr chooses, knowing that Amumu has to start at blue, to counter jungle a little bit in the top, which I would love to see. And the top lane's going to be a little bit static for right now. Tofu and Mudkiss Forever should be a very dynamic game, or very dynamic lane. Cassiopeia has a very strong harass ability, something that Morgana does not necessarily share, and I can definitely see that lane easily swinging into Tofu's favor. However, he has to be able to prevent Mudkips for President from farming too heavily. And I am actually lagging again, which is too bad, because this is exactly what I thought what might happen. Luminos has already invaded, is going to pick up red probably before Koboroko can get there. We do have players catching up now. Yep, there we go. And look at that beautiful timing. Oh, look. That is so good. Amumu walks in and says, where'd my red go? Perfect timing. Luminos might be looking to gank top. Meanwhile, I do want to check out bottom. This looks like Venom and Panico doing a lot of damage to DN. Forced to flash out. Balls to trying to do what he can to harass and push back the Alistar Graves. But Alistar Graves are a really strong lane. And Sivir, after the nerfs, just having a hard time standing up next to that Graves. DN does go ahead and decide to ward that brush so that they will not be zoned so hard. Now, Morgana, Mudkips for President, already pushing against Tofu. Video's actually kind of accelerating right now. We're speeding up a little bit to catch up with the players, I think. Or, well, not to catch up completely with the players, but you know what? I don't know why we're speeding up. I'm going to stop talking about that. But Tofu is doing what he can to farm off of the tower, but he really needs to be able to keep the lane in a good position. Now, Udyr's coming in for a gank, but eats the snare. Does shield, so it doesn't take too much damage. Amumu coming in with blue, kind of wandering around right now at level 3. And we are definitely moving, I think, at accelerated game speed, because I'm having to talk faster than I normally have to talk, if that's any indication. Now, Gangplank has superior harass ability, but he is about to get ganked by Koboroko. Gangplank did come top with a Cloth 5 against Garen. Not a bad build, but he did not have a ward, and unfortunately, I have now frozen again. Now, this is doesn't have anything to do with my computer or my internet connection. I have no idea why this could be happening. But we do have a gank coming in by Amumu, and I don't believe we're going to lose any time. There again, Gangplank pops the Q, decides to use it on a creep instead of keeping the movement bonus. And there's the, the stun lands on, but, you know, eating oranges, and it is K. Rekviev says, that's no problem. I'm going to be totally fine. Continue, let's see, winning my lane. Currently winning my lane, although only by two creeps. Wave is pushed against Rekviev right now. Amumu going back and picking up those golems. Right now, the biggest difference, I think, is going to be between Venom on Graves here in bottom, and Balls throw on, I'm just going to call him Balls. Balls on Sivir. You see fairly even CS. In fact, Sivir is actually up right now, but the health and mana is much nicer for Team Melee. And now to see whether or not they decide to continue pushing that. Alistar has come out with wards. He does have 2 wards. In fact, they've already warded the river. So unless Udyr... Oh, but the ward just dropped, actually. Very convenient timing. Panico is going to go up to ward that, but they do think that Udyr's there. There was a ping that went off. And Cassiopeia actually forced to back already in mid. Picking up 4... some additional health potions and a Doran's ring. Nice early Philosopher's Stone on Amumu. I do like how early he was able to get that. Udyr has picked up boots and a Ruby Crystal. And yeah, pretty good game so far. Pretty solid. We do have... Wow. Actually, this is totally worth pointing out. Look at this. 0-0. No towers. But already a 600 gold lead by Team Krnz suck. And where in the world could that be coming from? Well, I think it has to be coming from the fact that they're winning in CS. Garen is down to 16 CS versus Gangplank's 32, so he's actually doubling his CS right now. That's absolutely huge. Right now, top is really winning. And again, Garen, you know, he's a very straightforward champion. He can do tons of damage. He does synergize fairly well with Team Melee's team composition. However, he's going to have a hard time in lane against Rekviev, and he already is showing that he's having a hard time. Rekviev actually hasn't even touched any of his 5 potions. At this point, I kind of think it's kind of a waste. He maybe should have gotten boots 5 pots, but maybe Rekviev really wants to rush that Wriggles. Now, the wave is pushing against Nyaka, so he might be able to pick up some farm and try to catch back up right now. Also, contributing to that gold advantage, we have... well, the counter jungling by Udyr sitting at 31 creeps right now to the 29 of Amumu. That's actually not much of a difference. And Sivir's at 44 versus Graves, 40. That's not where you want to be. If you're pushing this hard with a strong lane composition like Graves, Alistar, and here's the ult in from Graves, from Gangplank, but Graves is going to E out of that, and then Flash Panuco hits a nice Q, but taking a lot of damage. Does not have ult yet. He actually may go down. There's the heal. He may have to flash out of that. He's not careful, but there's the stun from Udyr. And it looks like the flash was down for Panico, so that's going to be first blood for Team Krnz sucks. Oh, but Balls to him, gets the snare, but goes ahead and cleanses out and flashes. Mudkip flashing in with the ult. The ignite goes off on Balls, but he's going to get out of the snare. No, he doesn't. Graves going to pick up that kill, but gets ulted by Cassiopeia, taking a lot of damage. Tower focusing him, and he's going to go down to the ignite. No! Oh, he does! Wow, that was a really... really good counter-initiate by both players. I totally agree with what Morgana was going for there. Koporoko, a little bit late, I think, but still well played. But Tofu, a great ult on the Graves. Graves wanted that kill on Sivir and did get it, but paid for it dearly. Putting the game right now at 2-1, but actually stretching the goal difference quite large right now between the teams. 9.5 to 8.4. That's over 1,000 gold advantage right now for Team Krnz sucks. And Gangplank about to pick up a lot more minions and push that lead. Now, I am expecting to see this next blue going to Cassiopeia. Interesting to see where the kills lay out. So, Morgana only got an assist. Graves got a kill, but died. Alistar died and unfortunately not get a kill or an assist. Meanwhile, both Cassiopeia and Udyr picked up unmitigated kills. They didn't die or anything for them. Unfortunately, Sivir got only an assist for her death. Udyr wisely just saying, I'm going to use stop move to make sure I don't steal that blue from Cassiopeia. Meanwhile, Koporoko going for his first red at about 9 minutes into the game. And there was now a blue on Tofu and nothing for Mudkips. I could absolutely see with the additional gold that Tofu got from that bottom gank. He's got 2 Doran's rings to the single Doran's ring and almost Catalyst of Morgana. With blue buff, I think Tofu could actually absolutely have the advantage against Mudkips for President right now in lane. But however, we got some serious stuff going on. Luminos getting hit by the edge of Koporoko's ult, taking a lot of damage from Nyaka. Oh, and going down to the ult, followed by a basic attack. Well played by Team Melee. Udyr just a little bit out of position, and unfortunately there were no wards. There's the ward from Gangplank. A little miscommunication there between Rekviev and Luminos, excuse me. As I said earlier, I am a caster for Penn State University Park Electronic Sports Club, so I do go to school. I am a college student at Penn State University in State College, Pennsylvania, and the weather here just blows. I'm sure there's people I can't complain to that live in other colder areas of the United States, but let me tell you, State College is just, it's got horrible weather, and when you get sick, man, everyone gets sick. Everyone and their mother is sick right now in State College. Oh man, I'm already out of water. Alright, no problem. We do see that Sona is going ahead and planting that pink ward down and taking out Team Melee's ward in the river for well, Team Melee. Melee. Mumu coming around for a gank right now with red buff on Tofu. Tofu's actually at the right edge, at the correct edge, I'd say, for this gank. Oh, he could get totally caught out of position, even misses the snare, but he did take a tower shot. Kobaroko wisely saving his snare until after he knows when he needs it. Tofu could easily flash up, doing a lot of damage to Kobaroko, though, but there's the Ignite and the ult from Mudkits for President. Pretty clean pickup for Team Melee, getting that kill on Tofu, and the blue will now go to Kobaroko, getting that buff back. Very well played by Team Melee. That actually puts them only 800 gold behind. But you know something's going wrong when you're up a kill and you're still down about 900 gold. Meanwhile, bottom, wow, I'm sorry about missing that kill, but looks like Sivir, Udyr, and Sona were able to blow up Graves. Graves kind of in a tough spot right now, 1 and 2. He's only got 69 CS versus Sivir's 75, so I will say that Balls and DN taking a convincing lead in this lane against Penine Kono and Venom, which is actually not what I would think to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Sivir, but I would give the advantage to Graves. Now, the Sivir, if the Sivir's very good, can easily trade with Graves using that spell shield against buckshots, but the timing is pretty tight. You know, you have to be able to get that perfect timing. But you see the Graves has started picking up that early Madreds. Not quite the Wriggles yet, but definitely going for that Wriggles. Strong buy against Garen. The armor it provides is very useful, as well as the attack damage. Kobaroko now covering mid against Tofu, while actually Morgana Mudkits for President going top, realizing that Niak is doing just very not well against Rekvia. Going to go ahead and trade lane, so Morgana coming top against Gangplank. They are the same level, and Gangplank's low on mana, but I've seen this before. Gangplank is just great laner against Morgana. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about creeps being in the way. He does not have a snare. That's not a skill shot. He will just select you, Q you for great physical damage that is not mitigated by Black Shield. So actually, Rekviev could totally shut down Mudkits for President. Fortunately, Mudkits for President is coming in the lane, 002 with 67 creeps and a Catalyst and a Doran's. So going to be harder to push out than if they had started the lane together at level 1. Meanwhile, Tofu is going to be up against Garen. I think Tofu is going to have a great advantage. Cassiopeia's range and harassability against Garen should be very effective. Actually, Mudkits for President, I spoke too soon. He's coming back down toward mid. Looks like Mudkits is just covering for Garen. Interesting. Nonetheless, I think the moral of the story right now is that top lane is a problem for Team Melee. They're losing out that way in that lane pretty hard. The gold advantage has now gotten up to 1.4k thanks to the kill in bottom lane for Team Krnz Sucks, and it's looking pretty good right now. We do have a Dragon Ward for Team Blue, Team Krnz Suck. I'm just going to call him TKS, if I can remember to do that. TKS, yeah. If any of you have ever been to New York City, TKS is also the name of the ticketing system that you use to get cheap tickets for Broadway shows. So maybe I'll just be able to remember that. That's TKTS. Excuse me, I misspoke. Balls picking up some tower kills, but we see Amumu is now in the brush for bottom lane. Could easily get a great ult double kill, but Sona's now hanging out in the tri-brush. Kind of worried, I guess, for Amumu to come in, make sure Balls doesn't get caught by himself. Udyr picking up those double golems and probably going to then come back to bottom lane. Now they have no vision because of the pink ward from Team Melee in that bottom aggressive brush for Purple Team. Nothing really going on in top and mid, so I'm going to stay focused on bottom lane and see what happens here. Mumu could land a good snare, could go in. Paninko following up after the ultimate with a Q. This could be a great CC to 100% to 0 kill on bottom. Meanwhile, Mudkits for President push out of lane right now, but Luminos, the gangplank ult goes off. Open a nice flash, and there's the ult. He is going to get stunned by Udyr, though, taking a lot of damage, but Tofu gets quite low. Going back in with the Ignite and the pool. Tofu decides to stand on top of the pool and actually dies to Ignite. Ooh, kind of a misplay there. Luminos, you're doing a pretty good gank, but you have to be careful about how much damage you can take, and right now Morgana is much tankier than Cassiopeia. Meanwhile, Kobaroko actually kind of wasting his time in bot right here, not making anything happen, but the wave is pushing out for Team Blue right now. And I should note that we're down to only a 1.5k difference in gold, although Team TKS is still in the lead. So far, 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes in the game, and still, there's the Mumu coming out. There's the spell shield, blocking the ult. That was huge, but Sona gets oh my god. Oh my god, Sona just got eviscerated. Seriously, she didn't even have time to ult, and her ult was up too. She could actually block that, but no, she just gets blown up. Wow, and actually, I love this. Melee says, you know what? One kill, I mean, that's a big AoE CC down. We're going to immediately take Dragon. Not only that, but Tofu also was currently back. That is a convincing play by Melee. We're going to see if that puts them in the gold lead. Catches them up. They're now only a 200 gold difference. So despite top lane not going particularly well, we will actually look at that. It's 94 to 64, so that's like a 600 gold lead just from Gangplank versus Garen. So while the lanes aren't going particularly well for Melee, they have more than made up for it in coordinated kills in bottom lane, Amumu being very patient, and a great pickup on Dragon. That was around 15 minutes and 30 seconds, so we'll see Dragon respawning around 21 minutes. We'll see some more engagement there. Now, Garen actually has gotten to the point with a Giant's Belt, Boots of Speed, and a Dorian's Blade where he doesn't really care too much about Gangplank, especially a Gangplank who's going tanky with this Merc Treads Wriggles cloth armor build. So Gangplank's kind of yeah, going with that tanky build. Look at that Q against Nyaka, barely taking off a bar. So Garen actually has a great chance to come back into the game now. Could probably even fight Rekviev just straight up. Looks like Udyr going top now, double buffs, moving on to that Garen. Garen going and spinning away, doing some damage on Rekviev. Neither one actually really harassing each other a whole lot. Kobaroko picking up red. And we have Sivir back in lane. We do have Sivir sitting at a nice 117 last hits, giving her an advantage even over the 2-2-106 Graves. So quite a lot there. Of gold, I should say. Quite a lot of what? Oh, crap. Look at me looking at last hits. And meanwhile, a successful gank by the double buff Luminos and Rekviev killing Garen. Well played. I mean, Garen was quite tanky, but did not have the resistances necessarily. He has just picked up his first piece of real armor besides the Dorian's shield, a chain vest. But it looks like Rekviev and Luminos pulling out some good coordination and going to pull themselves back into the lead. There's now an 800 gold difference between the two teams. But the thing I'm most worried about right now, I would say from TKS's perspective, Melee's got a 102 Morgana with 94 last hits. And just, you know, farming that out. How much gold does she have right now? Well, 700, not too much. I think that this Morgana is going to be a big player. Absolutely. And that might seem like a trite observation to some people. I mean, obviously she's a Morgana. If she's not making a difference, then she's doing it wrong. Sure, but I just, based on what I'm seeing right now, I think especially Morgana is going to be a big player in this. Graves is absolutely going to be doing a lot of damage. But considering how Garen's not really had a good game, Graves is, you know, sitting at 2-2, losing in CS slightly. I think it's all going to be all about the Amumu and the Morgana in this game. Meanwhile, on Team Blue, I think Sivir, I think it's kind of equal spread. I think GP, every single member of TKS is going to be contributing a lot. Oh, Luminos almost eating a snare there. I think every single member of TKS is going to be contributing to this game. Garen actually kind of cut off right now. If Luminos went in, wow, but we have a Amumu from behind. Melee knows they need to stay near, make sure Garen doesn't get caught out of position. And Morgana's right there, saying, I got you back. I got you back, bro. I'm here. No problem. Mudkips for president. Showing his political party of choice, which would be Mudkips. Oof. We see Morgana picking up blue now from Kobaroko. Going to pick that up. Be careful not to, let's see, Kobaroko is careful enough not to steal it with red and Sunfire Cape. Nah, no problem. Mudkips for president. Going to isolate that with the snare. We do have a potential ping. Oh, we have pings from both blue and purple team. Coming up, Deanne going to go ahead and pink ward and kill that ward. Oh, Lumina's like running out there at Venom, but Venom just ease away, no problem. Kobaroko potentially going in for a gank on bottom. We still do have 2 minutes until Dragon, so they probably have that time. We're not going to worry about that. Nyaka just hanging out, doesn't want to get ganked now. Nyaka has realized that at this point, he's not going to lose to Gangplank. The only thing he's going to lose to is a gank from Luminos. He just has to make sure that he does not get ganked, so he's like in downtime just hanging out in that gank brush and making sure he does not get look at that. Nyaka actually denying Gangplank a single creep. That's pretty strong. He's definitely taking a lead in this lane. Overall gold is actually only 1,000 and 1.1k right now in favor of TKS. 1.2 now. Let's look at items real quick. So we have picked up Udyr, very standard Heart of Gold, and well, Notice the Kobaroko's here. I'm going to ignore it for right now and talk about items real quick. Ah, crap, but now is the Garen getting cut off. He doesn't want to get ganked. He's going to get slowed by... Oh, he's totally out. Boost of speed. Definitely doing him a good favor there. Or boots of swiftness, I should say. We have a... Looks like Sivir's either going for the Vamp Scepter just for... Oh, but the... Oh, man! Oh, God! I'm trying to talk about items, Kobaroko. Stop landing your damn snares, man! Sivir's looking to take down Pinico, but that's a 1v3. Going to wisely back out of that. But unfortunately, DN becoming the brunt of the ganks down bottom, getting blown up. And look, almost perfectly timed. Well, not quite perfectly timed. In 1 minute, Dragon will be up. Balls, go ahead and farming off that tower. We do see both AD's bottoms moving towards a Bloodthirster, BT. Although Sivir may choose to actually still build the Infinity Edge and just keep that Vamp Scepter for sustain, which I actually would totally agree with. We do see both of the... well, actually, only a Philosopher's Stone right now on Paninko. He must have a lot of gold. Wow! Paninko... No, actually only 400 gold. We do have both GP10 items for Sona. Actually, Sona with a lot more gold than Alistar. The difference is actually quite significant. They're a whole 1,000 gold. Let's take a look at Morgana here. She actually has a lot of gold in the bank. She's got 1,700. Probably going to pick up that needlessly as soon as she backs. Tofu, meanwhile, has 141 CS. Picked up that will early for the sustain in lane. Not much gold. Going to see what she decides to go for next. Amumu going for the straight-up Sunfire. No heart of gold, interestingly. I do normally like a heart of gold in Amumu. Just makes me feel good. I tell you what. And Gangplank has picked up that Wriggles Merc Treads. Going for some nice resistances, but so far mostly a tank plank build. And Garen actually still way behind in CS. Wow, like 50 CS behind, despite his ability to now hold the lane pretty convincingly. We do see that Bloodthirster has been picked up for Sivir. Let's look at overall gold. Highest gold, well actually highest CS in the game right now. Going to Sivir, 174 versus the second best right now. G-Raves. Yo, G-Raves, the Graves, it's 163. Highest gold in the game. It does reflect that. Sivir at... Well, no, I'm sorry. Graves actually has higher gold thanks to his kills at 6,600. Pink Ward is going to take that out. Actually, really good. TKS right now making a great play on blue because, look, Cassiopeia actually pulled, given the little runaround, pulling Morgana and Amumu off. But actually, if TKS isn't careful, they did get the Dragon, excuse me, going down at 2215, but they could be totally caught off guard, but actually Amumu decided to stay in mid. Excuse me, there I go. And they're going to get out scot-free. Look at the Sona going ahead. It's totally ballsy. Oh no, DN picked on all game. The flash and the snare from Mudkips for President is very good. Graves going to go in. DN does have flash. Decides to flash. Oh, so low. Mudkips doesn't need much. A basic attack or a snare, but the ult from DN, perfect right at the edge. Going to go ahead and get away from that with none but 58 health left. Kobaroko trying to dash down there, but Sona living on the edge saying, I know they're all around. I hope they don't see me. They have a ward in the dragon area, but I'm going to go ahead and back in there anyway. Total baller. Gets out alive. I like it. Although the flash Q from Paninko was also baller. Looks like Melie's in a good place to push bottom tower, though, right now. I have to say, really good play by both teams. For a tournament that is restricted to players below a threshold of ELO, these guys are playing really well. Good coordination. Good picks. Smart guys. I'm liking it. Makes me want to play LOL. I mean, that's what LOL should do. Anytime I watch LOL, I immediately just want to play it. I just love the game so much, and watching other players play it. And it's not like, oh, I want to play better than them. No, it's just the act of playing LOL is so just joyful for me. As will the act of being able to breathe through my nose. That's also very joyful for me. With any luck, that'll come back to me pretty soon. Oh, I hate being sick. Kobaroko going ahead and pulling blue. Morgana gonna go ahead and come pick that up. We do have a 2.3k lead for TKS right now, but I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think the gold lead at this point is really going to decide anything in this game. This is all about how the engagements are going to lay out. Whether or not one team gets a pick, whether or not they get a good ult, good counter engages, good positioning, the gold difference is not going to matter at all. It's going to be the skill of these players, the coordination, and how they act on whatever picks they happen to get. So you can basically ignore that gold. I think that is all going to be about these team fights. Or, interestingly, if there is a lack of team fights, because I think that TKS has an advantage in terms of skirmishes. So if there are more skirmishes and team fights, I think blue team could absolutely come on top of that. Meanwhile, Rekviev just racking up those last hits. Luminos coming out with the nice the bear stance plus the gangplank E, and Nyaka wisely dodging away from that all, but taking quite a lot of damage to the end. Oh, but Kobaroka's got a good snare. He could ult if he needs to, no problem. Kobaroka wants Garen to go back in. Morgana is coming up. The snare is not quite good. She has flash up. No, she does not have flash up. She does have ult up. Ooh, Kobaroka so wanted that to happen. Oh man, his ult's up. Oh no, it's not up quite. And there's the snare on Rekviev. But they totally wanted to make that happen, and Garen's going to be forced to back that. Actually, could be a tower killed if they want to. TES could take that down. But Rekviev building an early Aegis, and Phage probably going for an Aegis Triforce build. I've actually seen a lot of Gangplanks doing Aegis Triforce Infinity Edge recently for a more AD-centric Gangplank build, but look at the bot tower going down to Venom and Paninko. Sivir just didn't happen to be in bottom lane. Does have that Bloodthirster and the Zeal actually now up to 35 stacks. Graves is at 40 stacks, so they're pretty much ready to go, ready to fight. Interesting that neither player decided to go for an Infinity Edge, though. I mean, they each have a healing support. They have Alistar and Sona. And Infinity Edge just does more damage, flat out. I mean, both of these champions, granted, scale very well with AD. Sivir, I mean, straight up scaling on her Q, and both Q and R for Graves. I actually agree with the B team more on Graves. I think Graves scales much better with AD, thus the Bloodthirster makes more sense. With Sivir, I'd much rather see an Infinity Edge. That attack speed that she gets from her ult is so much better. Now, the oranges were just used by Rekviev, so he will not be able to cleanse out of this ult by Morgana, getting stunned. Nika is finally getting in the mix, getting that Q off for the silence and spinning on, but he needs to use that ult for the finish. Oh, a lot of damage, but not quite killing him. The pot is going off Rekviev. He dodges the snare. Oh, wow. If that last minion had not been there to block it, Rekviev would totally have gone down, and unfortunately, that's actually a big loss for Purple Team, because they wasted a lot of time right now going for that kill that was not successful. Oof. However, they're going to take top tower, so we now traded... Oh, now, actually, tower lead for MELIE is actually quite strong, and kill lead. They have picked up that tower. They're now down only 1.9. Yeah, 1.9k gold. Dragon should be spawning pretty soon. We do have a blue ping for the Amumu gank in bottom. Overall, very exciting game, very close. Basically, this whole game is just me. I'm just, like, so anticipating this team fight. When it happens, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. There's going to be stuff happening, flashy spells going all over the place. They're obviously going to want to wait until Morgana's ult is up before they team fight. MELIE, that is. And of course, MELIE taking those first two outer towers against TKS is going to give them a lot of mobility. Right now, they're kind of just wandering around the map. Tofu actually really aggressive right now. No, Luminos is nearby, but look at Niak coming in from behind. Tofu's flash. Oh, Tofu just actually sidesteps pretty nicely. And Luminos could have gone in there with the double buffs to help him out, but there's Koboroko. Oh, coming in for the gank on DN, and Luminos. Nyaka's close behind. Morgana's coming in. Ult's still down. Oh no, ult is up for Morgana, but Flash and Ignite down. DN flashes out. Not sure if the flash was necessary, but did want to obviously avoid more CC from Koboroko. Meanwhile, Gangplank doing a good job taking out top towers. So despite the mobility of MELIE, Rekviev just says, you know what? You guys gonna group up? I'm just gonna split push. I'm gonna take this top tower. I'm gonna tell you what. And Dragon has spawned. It is warded by, well, almost both teams. I think blue team should be able to see this purple ward with their pink ward. Koboroko just hanging out in the brush in mid, but Sona does see that. Oof. All right, let's go back to items real quick. We do see, looks like Udyr picking up, interestingly, Sheen. Oh, no, he does have the Phage. I was going to say Sheen before Phage would be uncommon, but he does have the Phage. Going for that Triforce build on Udyr. I like that, tanky DPS. Overall, I think the game plan for TKS is just the fact that all of them can do a lot of damage. The damage is a little bit more specifically placed in MELIE, but it looks like they're going in. Lumino's actually going to walk into a big trap. The Amumu ult is very good. Morgana going to maybe lay down the ult. No, not quite. Lumino's going to get blown up. The ult. A lot of damage from Venom coming in, but actually this could be good. DN and Sivir coming in from behind. Oh, but there's the Sona ult. Very nice. Paninko going to go down. Needs to hit his ult there. He does. Bloodkiss for President getting forced out. Paninko getting very low. Koboroko getting very low. Actually, the fact that Sivir's really high is going to be a big problem. Garen's finally coming into this fight. He has to be able to turn this around because at this point, Balls could do a lot of damage. The fact that he's still alive. DN very low. Needs to stay alive. There's the ult from Garen going down. Mudkips misses the snare, but that was so good for MELIE. look at how they were able to just take advantage of their good catch on Udyr. The fact that Udyr got eliminated from that fight so early really made that game. Balls popping the spell sheet a little bit too late, taking a lot of damage from Venom. Udyr got blown up too early, and MELIE did a great job of capitalizing on that without losing a single member of their team. You know, they were just like, we just have to eke ahead, and they've totally eked ahead. Somehow still behind in gold, but honestly, if that team fight was any indication of what Team MELIE is capable of, I think they're going to have no problem closing that gap in the upcoming couple of minutes here. It is 31 minutes, actually quite substantially far in the game, and we have not seen any plays toward Baron. The third dragon still yet to be picked up by either team. I'm kind of surprised that MELIE didn't go ahead and grab that dragon immediately after getting those 2 kills. But it is there for the taking. They do have the ward at it, and blue team does not have any vision. There's the vision by Lumnos. just as I said it. But the pink ward from Kobaroku is good. He will eliminate that ward. Balls hanging out in bottom. They're ready to go. I think TKS, with Gangplank so far, really going to have to make a good play to make this happen. Although Garen's going top for very little reason right now. He wanted to hike up there for those mini golems. It's really important to him. Kobaroku just taking out wards like a boss, but Lumino's coming around. They might get a catch on Kobaroku. They really don't want to kill Kobaroku before he's in a good place to teamfight right now. His ult is still down. Oh, but they switch on to Venom. Oh, a great flash by Luminos. A lot of ults go off, but oh, the Kobaroku flashing back in. Ooh, not so good about that. And by flashing, I mean queuing, obviously. And that was really well played by TKS. That's exactly what they needed to do. Make picks. As I said earlier, those scrims, they're much better in non-team fights in small numbers. Of course, they're going to be better in 4v1s, but, you know, still, taking advantage of the fact that they can fight Amumu when his ult is down and when he's not near Morgana, can really take advantage of... That's how you fight against AoE, man. I mean, if they have an AoE comp, just don't fight them together. And look at this Baron. I gotta say, pretty cocky by TKS, but their time, I mean, they rushed right up there. They knew exactly what they wanted. They're taking it super quick. Garen's coming in potentially. They don't have a smite to steal. Alistar's pretty fall. Mudkips wants to go, and he wants to make this a quadra kill. No, or a pentakill, but no, he doesn't. Nika gonna instead go down, pops the heal, taking a lot of damage. The Brewing Blade is pretty good. They're gonna be able to chase him down, but the snare was quite good. But there's the Ignite from Tofu, picking up that kill, and a Baron. Wow, thrusting themselves into the lead. I actually wanted to use that imagery, so... Thrusting it is. Gonna pick up mid-tower too. They absolutely could. Nah, no, backing off. Tofu maybe a little bit too far ahead, but now they are, as I said, thrusting themselves out with a 6.5k gold lead. 6.6? Yeah, something like that. But very significant. Let's look at the items now. Gangplank not quite... Actually, Gangplank not quite with that Triforce yet. Udyr not quite with that Triforce yet, but he hasn't backed yet. Quite a lot of gold sitting on TKS right now. And the Bloodthirster and Phanomancer, oh, and Last Whisper for Sivir, actually going a very low crit build, saying just want to do flat up damage. Very low crit percent on her right now. Although the Infinity Edge right now, of course, would just shred through him. Nobody is safe from Sivir right now, unfortunately. That Last Whisper, very powerful. We do see Graves, interestingly, not picking up a Phanomancer, which is kind of like almost a must-have for AD carries nowadays. Going for the Infinity Edge Bloodthirster, just saying, if it has a BF sword in it, I want it. That's it. Done deal. I'm sold. Cassiopeia going for kind of a safer build, getting that Will of the Ancients, Radha's Crystal Scepter, definitely not uncommon. I've seen that a lot. And the Needlessly Large Rod is now on her. She's sitting at a nice 340 AP with that Baron, but Nika could get caught out. Actually, this could go either way, but Morgana's actually kind of far. Amumu needs to save his ult, and both teams actually content to just let that one chill right now. A lot of damage did go down on Piniko, though. And blue team wants to make a play, as they should, I think, at this point. They're all grouped up very well. Udyr lagging a little bit behind. I would point out that Morgana right now sitting at 279 AP, lower AP, certainly, but Morgana can do a lot of damage, even without a whole lot of AP. Actually, your snare's right down right now. I think blue team absolutely can take this tower. We just have to be careful that purple team doesn't counter-initiate on them, because they absolutely could. Basically, Cass has to be sure to... Ooh, they're going around. They're going to top. I like this. I like this play. They've now isolated Purple Team, Team MELIE, at their tower. They're going to force them to fight off their tower. They have the GP ult is good. Luminos gets snared. Sona ult not as good as it could have been. Kobaroku actually way out in front of his team. Going to go down before we can ult. That's super bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Crap. Oh, man, that sucks. Oh, that's really bad. I know they're kicking themselves right there for that. They know they want to fight on the turret, and actually that was a great play. Both teams knew that Blue, if Blue didn't get the bait out fight right there, they could easily go top, split push, and take that tower. But instead, Purple Team Melee was anxious to catch up with them to make sure that they couldn't take that top tower, and instead forced them into a bad position where they fight off the tower. Balls picking up great spell shield, man. There you go. How do you fight a Morg? Just don't get snared. Spell shielded. They can easily take another tower. Amumu is still down with 7 seconds to go. Nika taking a lot of damage. Lumino's getting quite low, though. Actually, ooh, this could be bad. The Morgana ult goes out. Oh, that was a really bad Morgana ult. Unfortunately, the AoE is really failing right now for Team Melee. Rek'Viv getting snared. Goes ahead and eats oranges, no problem. Oh my god, my mouth is so dry. I'm talking so fast. This game is super exciting. Before I even end this game, I will say props to both teams. This has been a baller game to watch. You guys absolutely deserve to have made it into the 3rd round of this great tournament. Kobaroko making caught out of position. Oh no, taking a lot of damage. Luminos gets the start off with Bear Stance. That's going to be another kill on the Mumu without getting a chance to use his ult. This is so bad. This is exactly the opposite of what Team MELIE wants to do. Wow. Oh man, I got like a crick on my neck. Oh, this is so awesome. And look at the gold right now. I will bring up the gold right now. I mean, wow, Sivir's at 12,000 gold, with the next highest in the game at 10,000 Gangplank. Sivir is just so built right now. Gonna shred through everyone on that team. Blue team just noticing, hey, there's an outer tower up down here. It's like a free tower. And I'm totally a fan of that, man. If you push and you're feeling your Baron's down, you need to spend. Before you spend, just take an outer tower. It's practically free anyway. I mean, you didn't quite get the inhibitors, so they're not trapped in their base, but you've done a lot in terms of, well, look at this warding. I mean, props to whoever's doing this warding. I'm gonna give special props to DN for being a great support, picking up that oracles and doing great warding in the enemy jungle. Actually, 0 wards out right now for Team Melee. And that's really going to hurt them. Also, wow, I talked about the gold difference not being as huge of a factor. At this point, it is. Because they're 10k up. I mean, that's 10,000 gold. That's significant. It's no longer just about the team fights now. It's the fact that they just have items, man. That's 2 big items. That's an Infinity Edge, a Death Cap, and more. And look at the... I want to see the pickup for Sivir. She's thinking about it. She sells the Dorans. Sells the Dorans. Oh, Guardian Angel! Wow, the safe I know I'm gonna win anyway build says I already have the damage to shred through you guys. I mean, compared to Graves now, Graves has died so many times, his Bloodthirst is, well, it's up to 30 stacks, but it's not at full. Says I know I can shred you guys, and now you can't even focus me. Adding insult to injury. We do see a nice Shirley picked up by Sona. I do like that. I will say, look at the Shirley as well for Alistar. Shirley is such a good item. Especially for an AoE-centric team, I think Shirley is super good for Melee. Unfortunately, it may not be enough that they need. It may not be all they need. Uh-oh. Oh, the Graves, the Gangplank ult, not so good. But, man, you know what? Team Blue is so fast. I mean, they have the melee speed boost of Udyr for himself, Gangplank's E, Sivir's ult, and, oh my god, Sona's E. I have to say, that's got to be on purpose. Okay, TKS... I'm saying, you guys are freaking awesome. That team is so fast. How do you run from that? I mean, how do you... That's so ridiculously good. Blue team, on the other hand... Oh, there's the Sivir ult! They're going in for the damage. Piniko goes in and flashes the wall. Graves, they're just huddling in their base there. A nice nice smoke bomb. Ooh, Snare almost catches Tofu. Tofu not quite done with the Rabadon's Death Cap yet. He does have... he needs about 800 gold to finish that. Meanwhile, Morgana is sitting at... did she go ahead and finish the Zonias? Did she build the Zonias? No, she went for the Death Cap instead. I actually would rather have seen the Zonias on Morgana. But interestingly, she's not been focused. For the last couple minutes, Amumu's gotten the most focus of anyone. And I think Blue Team doing a good job at popping back and forth between lanes. They should steal red right now. Let's look at the vision right now. What do we have for... Team Melee, man. Oh, man. They have no idea. Look at this. They're so worried. They know Baron's going out. They can see this stuff. Oh, man. Are they going to try to go in? Nope. Conceding defeat. The ward even just a little bit too late. Oh, wow. They could get caught. Sivir's ult isn't back yet, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Gameplank's ult is almost up. They can fight this. They totally can fight this. Oh, Cassiopeia is a little bit lagging behind. There's the Charlie Driver from Paninko. And getting out there, no problem. Oof. Oh, man. Ouch. We do see that, actually, Gangplank finishing the Triforce, going for that, the Atmas immediately afterwards. Definitely a nice tanky build, deciding to skip over the Warbogs altogether. Some people do agree with that kind of after its most recent nerf. Amumu's going in. They want to fight before this tower goes down. This is the ult, but the tower does go down. Morgana's ult is very good. Oh, Mudkip's forever. Nice, but the second stack will only go off on one person. Luniko chasing down Venom will pick up that kill. Oh, everyone falling underneath the onslaught of damage from Gangplank, Cassiopeia, and Sivir. That's a GG. Well played. The surrender will go off. And wow, GG WP. Great manner by both teams. Okay guys, I just had a blast casting that game. That was so awesome. I'm on such a high now. I'm going to go play with my team now. You have inspired me. The move speed comp of TKS was wonderful. Just super cool. The AoE comp was really good by Team MELIE. Both of you guys, awesome. But I'm going to stop blabbering. I'm going to slow down. I had a great job. I had a great job. I just get so excited. I had a great time casting this game. This was Edwin Moles casting from PSP Esports. PSP Esports. Yeah, that's it. But check out our YouTube channel. We have other replays. And thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You're super cool. And yeah, I look forward to casting more games from you in the future. See ya.